Challenging, unrelenting, unforgiving. The fourth round of the 2022 Canadian Rally Championship. The Rallye Défi lives up to its name. Those brave enough to risk it all will either be rewarded with points or punished with failure. The stakes are high as the title hunt reaches the halfway point, and the teams are ready to go. Rallye Défi starts now. Crystal clear lakes and cozy cottages are what make Montpellier, Quebec famous. But it will be the roar of rally cars and the cheer of racing fans that will fill the forest this weekend. 36 teams have gathered to challenge 17 closed road special stages. The roads are a mix of rough gravel and loose sand, with a little tarmac thrown in for good measure. The Canadian Rally Championship is presented by Subaru Canada. Confidence in motion. This rally wastes no time, starting with 2 passes of a challenging stage featuring abrupt changes in character. Joël Levac leads the teams into the first loop of stages in his XWRC Mini. He has a new co-driver calling the notes, Florian Barral from France. Despite having to build fresh rapport from scratch, and having to deal with a stage that switches back and forth from smooth and fast to rough and technical, they immediately set a blistering pace that will be difficult for any other team to match. Championship points leaders, Jérôme Mailloux and Philippe Poirier, are up for the challenge. Test Racing continues to improve the performance on their new wide-body Subarus. Unfortunately, their usual teammate, Marc-André Brisebois, is out this weekend with an injury, virtually ending his chance at a championship run. Despite Mailloux's speed and skill, he struggles early on to match pace with Levac, conceding 30 seconds on the first stage. Having finally broken the string of bad luck that haunted him through much of 2021, Alexandre Moreau is ready to challenge for the podium again this weekend. He and co-driver Ian Guite are fast out of the gate, trailing Mailloux on pace, but staying ahead of the veterans Jean-Sébastien Besner and Yvan Joyal. Besner knows better than most that the key to success at a rally with stages this challenging is to play the long game, especially when you factor in the frequency of surface changes.
Gauche 5 shirt sur bosse et droite 6 shirt. Gauche 5 shirt.
Charging hard behind the Evo are Olivier Martel and Vincent Hubert. The green BMR Subaru is also now supported by Test Racing, and the added reliability has allowed Martel to leverage his skills to be in the hunt for podium finishes at several events. Back on the stages after a long hiatus, Boris Georgievich has once again paired with John Hall for a run at Rallye Défi. It takes him no time to shake off the rust and start posting top 5 stage times. In their first national rally together, Jonathan Drake and co-driver Crawford New are off to a fast start. If attrition starts thinning out the top ranks, they could find themselves in the battle for the podium. In two-wheel drive, championship points leader Nick Wood is back with his regular co-driver Jennifer Daly. A combination of gearbox issues and illness have him off his usual pace in the first loop. Francis Belay and Danny Millette shocked everyone by winning the two-wheel drive class here in 2021 at their first ever national rally. After their crash at Rallye Charleroi, the car is freshly rebuilt, and Belay looks good to repeat, winning the first stage. But Chris Greenhouse and co-driver Ryan Scott are on a mission.
Up there, middle of a small crash. crest 180, 6 left plus.
A combination of bad luck and off-road excursions have knocked them out of the last several Canadian rallies they've challenged, and they're determined to turn their fortunes around with a win this time. They lay down a blistering time on the second stage, taking the class lead at the end of the first loop. Levac is immediately out to a commanding lead, with Mailloux just ahead of Moreau in the battle for second. Greenhouse leads Belay and Wood in two-wheel drive. Coming up, the teams will get up close and personal with the fans at Rallye Défi with the gravel pit spectator stages.
Welcome to your 20-minute high-intensity workout. Pick up the cadence, regulate your breathing. Get ready for a climb, let's go. Okay, push it on the flats. Pick a number and get after it. Recovery in 3, 2, 1. The all-new WRX.
Welcome back to Rallye Défi, Round 4 of the 2022 Canadian Rally Championship. After making their intentions clear on the first loop of stages, the teams are back in Montpellier for service before the gravel pit spectator stages.
Yeah, everything is going fine. The road is amazing. Weather, perfect condition. So new co-driver today. Everything going well. So I can ask for more. Yeah, like you know me, everything. We're just running for fun, so we just push. We have fun to push. We do this for us, so we continue like this, and we continue to push.
Ça a relativement bien été là, dans les deux premiers stages. On a commencé assez agressif, là, pas justement perdre trop de temps sur Levac. On savait qu'il allait être rapide là, dans ces stages-là. On a quand même fait des bons temps, puis on s'est dérouillé, fait que ça, je pense que ça va bien aller pour le reste de la journée.
Troisième position, super heureux, c'est direct la position que je voulais être. On a commencé ça assez rapide quand même, là. On a fait des belles notes. Puis on va continuer le rallye comme ça pour l'instant, là, avec un bon space. Puis essayer de rester troisième, pas faire d'erreur, puis soit avec les autres en fond pour monter deuxième probablement ou peut-être premier, on ne sait pas.
So yeah, it's been quite a good start, I would say. Car is not running perfectly. There's a power cut when I press, full gas. So we're trying to fix that. So Ford, considering that, is pretty good. The guys in front, I mean, I don't know how they make it, how they do it. So consistency for sure, good speed for sure, but you need luck. So I hope that it takes experience, which Ivan and I have. Obviously speed, but I mean the rally god needs to be with us. That's for sure.
Chris Greenhouse is on top of a fierce battle in two-wheel drive.
Actually, after stage one, we were down a little bit. We were in second. Francis Belly had the lead after first. And so we went out on the first stage. I didn't push hard enough, and we got a puncture, so we lost a little bit of time on the first stage. We came back at stage two and made it all up and then some. So we did very well on stage two, took the lead back after stage two in two-wheel drive. So far, we're looking at a close battle right now. First and second separated by 8 seconds. They may not be cheering me on. They may be booing me and cheering for somebody else, but I'll be out there. We'll give them a show. And the other thing is we know that we're strong in that gravel pit too. That's always a good stage for us. That's one where we think we can go make even more time.
Multiple passes through the gravel pit spectator stage offers the drivers a chance to make time on their rivals, and the fans a chance to see it all happen up close. The energy level is high, the grip level is low, and the roosts are epic. Some minor mechanical gremlins are preventing Mailloux and Poirier from dialing up the speed, causing the lead test racing driver to lose even more time to Levac. Despite the performance deficit, he still maintains his gap to third.
suivi d'un droite late, in gauche 2. Droite court on crest 40, droite 1.
A failing rear differential is causing handling problems for Besner and Joyal, and the tight and twisty gravel pit isn't a place you want to be questioning your car's ability to turn in. But Besner digs into his years of experience and manages to increase his pace to compensate. Behind him, Georgievich and Hall break a rear suspension upright and are out of the rally. This promotes Martel and Hubert to 5th, edging closer to the battle for the podium. In two-wheel drive, Nick Wood is back to full strength and the car is fully sorted out. He and co-driver Jennifer Daly have some ground to make up, and the championship points leader knows what it takes. The rear-wheel drive Datsun dances for the fans on the loose, sandy surface. Ahead of them, Belay and Millette have the thought of a repeat win driving them, but Wood is slowly eating up the gap. Neither Wood nor Belay can make up any ground on Greenhouse and Scott. Greenhouse has a blast in the gravel pit and manages to open up his lead in the class to 50 seconds. In the battle for the overall podium, Moreau and Guité are pushing hard to see if they can gain ground on Mailloux, but it doesn't go to plan. On the final pass of the stage, a broken tie rod leaves them limping out of the loop. They maintain third, but will the car make it back to service, or is their rally ruined? Too soon to tell. In contrast, Levac and Barral have had a trouble-free first day at Rallye Défi and end the day by putting on a spectacular show at the gravel pit.
Sur gauche 3 moins, ferme, 40.
Levac extends his lead to almost a minute and a half over Mailloux. Moreau hangs on to third, but it's questionable if the car will make it back to service. Besner and Martel round out the top 5. Greenhouse extends his lead in two-wheel drive. When we come back, it's the final day of competition at Rallye Défi. A new day dawns in Montpellier, Quebec, and the wispy peace of the still morning air is about to be shattered by the roar of turbocharged engines. It's the final day of competition at Rallye Défi, round 4 of the Canadian Rally Championship. Joël Levac and Florian Barral will lead the teams into the stages.
4, 3, 2, 1, go! Gauche 4 à fond.
They ran a textbook first day of competition despite this being their first rally together, and are looking to extend their lead in the first loop of stages today. But almost immediately, a front drive shaft snaps, leaving them with just rear-wheel drive. They're forced to adopt a more conservative pace. This should be the opening that Mailloux and Poirier need to challenge Levac for the lead, but the championship points leaders have problems of their own. They're down on power and are struggling with suspension issues.
Gauche 5 millions, ouvre over crest. 75, droite 3 plus millions.
Despite their best efforts, they lose even more ground to Levac and have to start thinking about their hunt for a title, rather than the overall win. Often in rally, it's the service crews who are the heroes. The team came through for Moreau, repairing the damage overnight, and with Mailloux off the pace, Moreau is determined to one-up his third-place finish at Rallye Baie de Chaleur with a second place here. Blowing off some steam, Moreau and Guité are okay, but their rally is over. This moves Besner and Joyal up to third, but they have their own problems. The damaged rear differential was replaced by the service crew overnight, but their spare is from a stock road car. This has shifted the handling balance from neutral to oversteer tendencies, making the car tail-happy in corners. Besner adapts quickly to maintain the same pace. Martel also moves up, now in fourth. He's already shown an excellent balance of speed and patience. He knows if he pushes to catch Besner, he could make a costly mistake, and that there are still several stages left for attrition to thin the field. He commits no errors through the loop. With Moreau out, Drake and New also have the chance to battle for the top 5. With only one day of competition together under their belts, the pace they are showing is impressive. Unfortunately, it can't continue.
Line 70. Oh. 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 Oh.
The safety equipment has done its job, but they are out of contention. The competition in two-wheel drive is reaching a fever pitch, and none of the top 3 drivers are willing to give an inch. Belay and Millette fight hard to close the gap on Greenhouse, but Wood manages to overtake them on the first stage of the day. Before Belay can respond, his gearbox fails, taking him out of the rally. With Belay out of the way, Wood and Daly now have their sights set on Greenhouse and the class lead. But when you play at this level, the stakes are high, and it can all come undone in an instant. Greenhouse and Scott are veterans who know that with the pressure off, the smart strategy is to adopt a more conservative pace. But Greenhouse is still flying.
And a 5 left over crest. There's still 5 right there. 30, 3 right plus.
With one loop of stages to go, Levac is out to a huge lead. Mailloux, Besner, Martel, and Cyr round out the top 5. Greenhouse not only leads two-wheel drive, but is up to 6th overall. The teams return to service to prepare for the final loop of stages.
First start in the morning, we broke right away a half shaft. So we're running 2-stage, only rear-wheel drive. We push like hells, and we have fun in the car. We say, okay, we have a problem, we just have fun and push and pay off. So we are very happy. I think we have 2 scratch times, so with 2-wheel drive, so amazing.
Non, ça n'a pas bien été dans la dernière loop. Il y a quelque chose dans la suspension là, puis dans la conduite qui s'est brisé. Très confiant qu'on va réussir à trouver le problème, mais il faut essayer une chose à la fois puis voir si ça fonctionne. On va espérer que ça aille bien pour les derniers stages cet après-midi.
Manque de concentration, je voulais aller mollo, j'ai été trop mollo. J'ai sorti de la route, on a fait un tonneau, on a retombé ses roues, le véhicule est encore correct. Je peux pas repartir à cause du pare-brise, je n'ai pas pour le remplacer.
Tough loop, it's the kind of loop you just want to get out of it without any big problems. Unfortunately for Alex, he rolled the car. So third place is very sweet, so I just want to play it smart and make it to the end now.
Just a little bit too hot into a left-hander, got sucked into the loose stuff and just had a bit of a disagreement with a tree, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to restart. We've lost, I'm not sure what the penalties are exactly, probably around 20 minutes, but should be back in the points. That's what we came for, so we'll see how it goes.
Going a little bit better for us than some of our competitors. I think at least 2 of the top competitors dropped out, so that leaves us in first place right now. We have had some problems. Steering rack decided that it wanted to leave the car. The crew made it go back to work and put it back in. We're doing pretty good in the overall. That's a good weekend if I can end up somewhere in the top 10.
The last loop of stages at Rallye Défi is coming up.
Welcome to your 20-minute high-intensity workout. Pick up the cadence, regulate your breathing. Get ready for a climb, let's go. Okay, push it on the flats. Pick a number and get after it. Recovery in 3, 2, 1. The all-new WRX.
Welcome back to Rallye Défi. With the final service complete and the cars patched up and ready to go, the final loop of stages is about to start. The Canadian Rally Championship is presented by Subaru Canada. Confidence in motion. Having led the rally from the first stage, Joël Levac and Florian Barral will be the first to attack the remaining stages of the day. This has been basically a textbook rally for this team, an amazing performance for a driver and co-driver who have never worked together before. And they aren't finished yet. storming through the first part of the loop and extending their lead by another 10 seconds. The attrition has promoted several drivers up the order, and Dave Cyr and Amélie Bélanger find themselves up into 5th overall. This means that test racing occupies 3 of the top 5 places in the rally. This includes Martel and Hubert. Although they'd never wish bad luck on their competitors, all it would take is a single flat tire on the car ahead to promote them to the podium. Martel keeps it smooth and fast to the finish. Having come to terms with the twitchy handling of their Evo, Besner and Joyal give up no ground to Martel through the final leg of stages. They're on their way to spray champagne. With Belay out and Wood taking massive penalties for having to restart the rally, Greenhouse and Scott have such a massive lead in two-wheel drive that they could cruise through the final loop. Instead, Greenhouse keeps the afterburners lit to the finish.
Flat, 6 left over crest. 120.
Mailloux and Poirier must be feeling a mix of frustration and satisfaction. They've abandoned their attempt to reel in Levac, keeping their eye on the bigger goal of a title. Second place today would boost their lead in the championship significantly. Mailloux stays focused through the final stage kilometers and sticks to the plan, finishing second. Levac and Barral finished the rally the way they started it, with commanding pace. They've won all but 2 stages, having settled for 5th at Rallye Baie de Chaleur. Victory here at Rallye Défi is the redemption Levac was hoping for. Levac, Mailloux, and Besner will stand atop the podium. Martel and Cyr round out the top 5. Greenhouse is flanked by Duddy and Bessie on the two-wheel drive podium. Second place extends Mailloux's lead in the championship to 23 points. Besner second. Levac and Martel are tied for third. Finishing 4th in two-wheel drive maintains Wood's lead in the class title race. It's been a tough race to get here.
It has been a long time since we won, but it feels really good to be back in the number 1 position, 6th overall. We broke some things today and a few things yesterday. This service crew worked hard. I mean, there's sometimes when the driver goes through and, yes, okay.
A long event, the car was not easy to drive today, so I had to be really safe, still not realizing everything right now, but yeah, after a few years out of rallies, a podium, another podium is really nice.
On est content de notre deuxième place. On s'attendait à un rallye plus facile que le dernier là, à Baie des Chaleurs, mais finalement là, on a connu toutes sortes de problèmes. On a réussi à trouver le problème là, de moteur, mais on a dû réduire la puissance là, jusqu'au reste du rallye. Au moins, on a réussi à terminer. On avait déjà une bonne avance, puis avec un beau résultat comme ça, là, ça vient rendre plus difficile là, pour les autres là, de nous rattraper.
Yes, for sure. A nice day, beautiful. Road is amazing. Mini Saragat gave me a perfect car, and the Pirellis gave me on the road, so amazing.
We're past the halfway point in the 2022 Canadian Rally Championship, but the hunt for the title is still wide open. The teams will take on the legendary Rally Charleroi next, packed with tough stages and cheering fans. Don't miss it.